What is up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. If you're just getting here, please feel free to look around and give us a subscribe if you like what you see here. A lot of informational stuff to do with coon hunting and dog training and training coon dogs and stuff like that, and coon hunters alike. So welcome everybody to today's video. Today's video is going to be the big shout out video to catch up from all the pre-recording, and it's also going to be the channel update stuff. The shout outs are going to be at the end of the video. I'm going to start with the channel updates and things like that. Okay, so number one, I want to talk to you guys about my content creation. Okay, so the way that I create my content is literally on my cell phone, which is completely fine. I like the quality videos that I get put out. It makes it a hard time for like outdoor stuff and getting like the hunts recorded and things like that. And as far as that goes, that is going to be more geared towards the squirrel hunt stuff, because that's kind of what I got going on right there. I do have coon hunts on the channel. Down in the coon hunt section from when I did have Cash and we were coon hunting him. So if you guys need a little bit of action in your life, there's some coon hunting videos down there you guys can check out. Okay, so that's kind of like the content creation thing. I'm solely on the cell phone. And then also like kind of like my schedule. I work third shift and then I have to be up in the day, and you know, it takes to be a lot, and I try to kick out as many videos as I can. And pre-recording the videos actually allowed me to get out 4 or 5 videos last week instead of just 1 or 2 videos. So I need to kind of find a balance in what I'm pre-recording and what I'm not. And then also I wanted to talk to you guys about I'm going to only have one more hunt methods video. I'm going to wrap that up. I've made a section on the channel. I think it's 4 videos in total, but I believe in all 4 of those videos I can kind of sum up so much stuff in those 4 videos. I feel like a lot of things were cleared up and a lot of things were made clear when I went over how I hunt dogs, especially coon dogs. And I feel like I got a lot of explanations put together in there that they kind of called for, which kind of cut me off of making some videos about things. I had to explain them in that video. Okay, so that's why we're going to cut the hunt methods videos at 1 more video. Okay, so like the squirrel hunting content, with the dog at this point in time, she's been out to the woods. She's still around the house and still a little puppy, and we're still working with her, getting her outside and playing and stuff like that. She is going to be a great dog. She has a really great temperament. She's really got a lot of game drive in her, so I don't think there's going to be any issues there. I'm just kind of waiting on the stage that I'm in now is I'm trying to get a hold of a dead squirrel, and I kind of want to take her with me when I get one, or at least get one that's fresh. I don't want to pick up roadkill. I don't want to do any of that. I kind of want to harvest the squirrel myself, bring the squirrel home, and train on her with it, or have her in the woods with me when I do harvest a squirrel and train on her in the woods. And I think that is a lot. That is going to go a long ways, especially for her at her age. We will just have a really good gauge of her and where she's at, and what type of help that she needs to get furthered along based on her reaction to the dead squirrel. Now a squirrel versus showing a dog a dead coon. Showing a dog a dead coon is a whole different story than showing a dog a dead squirrel, right? Coons are very intimidating. They're way larger. Puppies can get easily scared from them. So when we're showing dead coons, we want to make sure that we're confident that our dog is going to react well. Versus the dead squirrel thing, it's kind of no bigger than a chew toy, so it's kind of not intimidating. It's very interesting, very intriguing, so I don't think that I'll have any issues with Tilly. So we've settled on the name Tilly there, with Tilly, and getting her to go ahead and get real feisty and sling around a dead squirrel. And I'm hoping that will be the little trigger in her to go ahead and get her to start treeing up, because I've yet to have her solidly sit down and tree up the drag, which at her age, it's not a big deal at all. But I think it would be really cool to get her to that stage with the drag stuff, and then we can work into the dead squirrel stuff. As far as she goes, she's kind of just backburnered over there, and just grow up a little bit, get a little bit of age on her. I am going to be taking her to the woods intermittently, probably once or twice a week, something like that, for nice walks. Nothing too major. As you guys seen in my squirrel hunting video, I put about 0.7 miles on her and she was totally toasted, which I was very impressed for her to actually sit down and do the 0.7 miles. She wants to do a whole mile in the woods. It's a very good exercise, a very good exploration and things like that for her. Very good confidence building. So there's the squirrel hunting content stuff and the puppy journey kind of thing. So before the video gets too long-winded, let's go ahead and jump into some shout-outs for you guys. All right, so number one, I want to give a shout-out to Donald Berryhill. You got the 7-month-old dog that won't bark on the drag, and I feel like I commented back to you, and I feel like I shortchanged you in a little bit of a way, and that it was, like I said, I feel like I'm kind of out of the pulse of everybody because of the pre-recording stuff. But I want you to know full well that you can reach out to me on mailbrookstudios.com and we can have a conversation and talk a little bit more. When we talk about a dog not wanting to bark at something, there could be a lot of factors. And then you also said drag. It's like, okay, so are we using a scent drag? Are we using a dead coon? Are we using a cage coon when we're talking about the dog won't bark after a drag? 7-month-old dog that isn't barking, this puts you into the realm of we have a lot more things that we can look at doing and opening up that dog's perspective and how it looks at coons. One being it's big enough, it's mature enough, it is probably been trained on and been in the woods enough to go ahead and be able to have coons knocked down to that. So I would shine a coon for that dog and start knocking a coon down for it. And then once the coon comes down, his reaction, okay, so if he's going to be super aggressive and he wants to mouth it and shake it and chew on it and, you know, just tear it up, then we're going to take it and throw it straight into a tree, straight back into the tree that we shot it out of, and try to get him to start rolling on that tree. This is a very good way, especially if they're super engaged. If they're super engaged in the dead coon, like they want to put their mouth on it, they want to chew it up, they want to attack it, they're kind of got a lot of drive for it. We're going to get that from him and throw it right into a tree, right where he can see it, not high enough or not low enough where he can jump up and grab it, but we're going to throw it right into a tree and try to get him to go ahead and start slamming that tree. And it's kind of like the bark thing is probably one of the most tedious things that you can go over, and it's really one of the most varied on time, right? You can have a dog that will start blowing the top off of any drag at 6 weeks old, and you have a dog that won't blow the top off a drag until it's over 2. So we have a very, very, very broad window when we're talking about dogs won't bark on a drag. And there's just some things that we can do to try to coax them along and get them to go ahead and do that for us. But knocking a coon down and throwing it back into the tree is a really good way to see if a dog is really ready to start hammering away at a coon. Okay, another guy I want to shout out is Mike Parr. Mike Parr, I know that you were in the Solo Coon Hunters Club. For those of you who do not know, I went ahead and I took some time and I wrote up a rule book, and I was trying to get a very easy kind of way for guys like me who hunt all by themselves to go out here and record hunts and get them submitted into some type of league. And we can get like recordings going, and we can put head-to-head challenges and things like that. That kind of fell on its face. Not a lot of people wanted to partake in it. I can see why, being on the side of the perspective and the side of the fence that I am, in coon hunting and all things coon hunting, I like to be a very honest, very straightforward person. I don't care for lying and backsliding and cheating people out of stuff, especially when it comes down to hunting, because at the end of the day, it should be a wholesome experience. It should be a wholesome sport for everybody to partake in and everybody to enjoy. And it shouldn't be some of the stuff that you get into and a lot of these more competition geared stuff are guys where they really want to backslide on people and, you know, just cause a whole bunch of problems and havoc and arguments and things like that. I'm not about that. I'm really completely geared the opposite direction. I want good positive things. I want good positive things in hunts and things like that. So I put it out there, and it just kind of fell on its face. Nobody wants to hunt in it. Nobody wants to do the videos, which is all fine. I know it's a lot. When we start talking about creating content, when we're making videos, it tends to be such a task. I mean, it tends to be a super difficult task to go out here and capture and create content. And I think people who don't or haven't done it a whole lot don't really understand that aspect of it, and that it takes a lot of stuff, especially when we're handling dogs and leashes and cameras and things like that. It turns to be a lot, so that could be a really big factor in the solo coon leagues kind of freeze. But if you guys want to check that out, check the rule book out and stuff. Solo Coon Hunters League, or Solo Coon League on Facebook. There's a group. You guys can go in there and check that out. I'm not expecting you guys to be involved or anything, but if you're curious, you can go over there and check it out. Okay, so another thing for another shout out, I want to shout out Derek McMillan. I know that I've shouted you out before, but I like to give everybody kind of the urge to come back and keep commenting and be engaged, because it really does mean a lot to me when you guys do engage on the content and you guys do comment and you guys do like and share and subscribe. You know, it really makes the world of difference, and it keeps the channel just trudging right along. I know there's, like I was talking about, we can have like a lull to where, like right now the channel's kind of stagnated at about 440, right in the 440 range. It's probably like 447 now, but it's been kind of stagnant in that day for those couple days, and I think that's to do with posting some of that squirrel stuff early in the morning and my other stuff kind of in the afternoon. We're gonna get that all figured out. Okay, so Maha Eliel, you commented on the short for the squirrel dog. It's a great name. I couldn't get to your comment to comment back to you for whatever reason. YouTube actually took it down, but I still have the notification. Okay, so let's shout out James May. You had a cool little river story about how you finally got your dog to break off from you and get in the woods and get hunting, walking through the river, making the dog, you know, go on the bank until it finally got bored enough to take off. This is basically an expedited version with a little nice trick to it. I talk about that in my videos too. It's a lot easier to trick a dog into doing something that it don't want to do versus forcing it to, because then it's their idea and they get a lot more productivity to it. But this is basically, in essence, a expedited process of my "A Dog Won't Leave Your Feet" video. But really cool story. I really enjoyed it. I want to give a huge shout out to Josh Glover. I am very happy that you and your daughter and your dogs are doing well, and I'm very happy to have partaken in that and shared some of my experiences and my information that I have and helped some of you guys along. I really do greatly appreciate when you guys come back and let me know this stuff, because it makes me know that I'm not just treading water here, that we're actually gaining ground, which is really awesome. T Champion, yes man, trying to get the squirrel dog stuff going along. She is looking fantastic. I couldn't be more pleased with the dog. I actually really enjoy the dog's personality, and I also enjoy what I'm seeing out of her for the hunting stuff. But at the end of the day, she's just a puppy, and we're going to get her rolling, and it might take a little bit. It might go fast. I know squirrel season's coming to an end. The 31st, I believe that's the same thing for coon season here. So I have just a super short patch of window, and unless this dog is a prodigal superstar and trees her own coon, but when she's 3 months old, she will she's not gonna have any chance of getting some squirrels really knocked down to her this season. But with that being said, there's other ways to get things done, and we're going to be looking into that as well. Off-season training and things like that. And that could be a video. If you guys want me to make a video on some off-season tips, just go ahead and drop it right down there in the comments, and I will put together some off-season tips and put together an off-season video. Because I know we are getting closer to the end of season. Some states are probably already out of season, which is all fine. Okay, so we're going to shout out Dixie Alley Outdoors, previously Rain Wrapped X. Sorry, I got your name wrong, man. I hope I didn't make you change your name. Dixie Alley Outdoors, I don't think I've got to shout you out as your new channel name. But I do appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out. I really... it means a lot to have the channel grow in the way that it's growing, and it means a lot for you guys to come in and actually be able to absorb some of the content and absorb some of the stuff and take it home and translate it onto your dogs and get farther along. And I'm glad to be the guy to do it, and it's no sweat off my back. I've been coon hunting. I think one of my first memories is coon hunting on my grandpa's shoulders. He'd walk us through the woods, shining coons, and then we got up a little bit older, got our own dogs, and we coon hunt and we train on dogs. And you know, when you're a kid and you're training on dogs, you run into issues that you can't solve, and you don't have nobody to help you. And then it's like, oh, I'm going to get a different dog, and I'm going to get a different dog, and I'm going to get a different dog. And eventually you kind of figure it out. And then once you start putting your dogs together and you start getting a real handle on what a dog really needs to get put together, then you start turning up them first dogs that gets to the tree. And, you know, I think the first dog that me and my brother trained together, and well, it's the first coon dog that we ever had. We kind of trained it together, and we got it slamming trees, man, and it was just something amazing. That dog was a great dog. And then we kind of tapered off from there, and we went down in quality, and we got into the muddier waters of the problematic dogs. And you know, we weren't too rich or nothing like that, so we always never had GPSs. Took us a lot to get shot collars even put together at whatever point. I know I never even had shot collars on dogs until I was already up in my 20s, and I never even had a GPS until I was up in my 20s either. So it's kind of like I had all these years of coon hunting and being in the woods with no GPSs, no shot collars, and you know, just kind of like flashlights. We had flashlights and things. I know my brother put together a coon light for a headlamp, actually, and you know, that was just the next best thing. And then, you know, the guns we were fooling with weren't the best guns, you know, and we had problems with those. And we just had a really hard time, and we struggled right along because we love coon hunting. I know he loves coon hunting a bunch. He actually just came down, so shout out to you, bub. I'm gonna keep that coon that scope light if you don't come back and get it. So just gonna put that on there. So you know, there's kind of the channel, man. I hope you guys really get a feel around here. I can't get some content out, and I feel really bad, okay? So I'm going to put this out there too. I feel really bad when you guys comment and ask me to do a video, but I've already done one. So then I have to tell you guys like, oh, well, check this video out because I go over this. Okay, so if I do that to you guys and you guys go over there and watch that video and that video does not have your answers, please contact me back and just let me know exactly what was missing out of that one, and I will either try to get a hold of you guys. We can talk on Melbrook Studios Entertainment if it's not something that would be, you know, channel pertinent video information. Then we could talk back and forth, and we can get something figured out and get you guys helped out. I got nothing better to do than sit in my kitchen and make YouTube videos outside of going to work. I mean, I'm making this video. It's 3 o'clock in the morning right now. I've been out of work and I'm sitting around, and this is what I got going on. So I have this, what I deal with after work, and then my daytime stuff I do in the daytime. So this is kind of my off time to make the YouTube videos, except for when I'm in the woods doing hunting stuff. But I really do greatly appreciate you guys. Please hit a subscribe on the channel, and I would greatly appreciate that. Drop a comment. We'll get you shouted out if you ain't been already. And keep them treated, guys.